But I did have a really nice, like it's a nice drive down here for me. And I heard this poem when I was listening to this podcast. And I think we all like have a thing, right, that we're working on. And like right now, mine is forgiveness. Okay. But talking about the thing is not the thing. Reading about the thing is not the thing. Getting mad at yourself because you didn't do the thing is not the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is actually carving out the time, applying it, practicing it. And so with your eyes closed and starting to deepen your breath, if you have a thing, like maybe today it's be gentle on yourself because you're not feeling well, right? See if you can practice that kind of mind, body, and spirit in every breath. Inhale, exhale. Remember, a slow breath is usually a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Last one, breathe in, breathe out. As your eyes open, stretch your arms up overhead. And that's fine that you have the bed right there. You could just bend your right elbow, put your right hand on the bed and side lean. Yeah, kind of push the hand or yeah, elbow or whatever you want. Side lean there. Come back up to center. Left hand out to the side lean. Okay, we're just going to go back and forth a little bit like this, warming up your spine, getting into breath. Arm up, inhale. Side lean to the right, exhale. Stretching through left elbow in. Exhale, feel the stretch through the right side rib. And we're going to take one more. Use your arms lifting up to pull the rib cage up. Let that feel kind of like nice, stretchy, juicy into the left side body. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe just your thing is to get a really steady, even breath as you practice. Come back to center. And then your left hand will go to the outside edge of your right knee to twist. If my thing is to be gentle, I was practicing this morning and it's just like soften the face, relax the jaw. Let the breath move the pose. Okay, I want you to really keep this twist through your ribs and shoulders. Look forward towards the front of your mat and then cross your right arm over your left arm, kind of reaching for your knees here. Good. Square off your shoulders and then tuck your tailbone and round in. So you feel a stretch, almost like the skin, right? Kind of spreading, pulling. Shift forward, keep your elbows crossed, lift the gaze, and then point your fingertips up towards the ceiling as you cross your forearms, cross your wrists. Draw your elbows now down and in, rounding, flexing the spine. And then the more I press the top elbow into the bottom elbow, I can pull the shoulders down away from the ears, feeling that full stretch, maybe from the base of the neck over the trapezius. And then inhale, sit up a little, lift the elbows. See if you can find a little back bend as you lift your elbows up here. And then exhale, round in. And we'll take one more. Inhale, little lift. You might feel it in the triceps a bit there. And then exhale to round. Good. Back up through center. Release the arms. Roll out your shoulders, right? We got to check to see if that feels effective. And then I want you to fold in here. Feeling a gentle stretch across the back of your hip. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Up through the spine. Coming to seated. And as you roll up, good. We're just gonna do a little cross here. Kendall, change sides. Then this time, instead of flowing, inhale, arms up, left arm out to the side, and I want you to hold here. Yep. So whenever we want to move like a thicker joint, either the hip joint or the shoulder joint, if we bend the joint below, so that's a lot of times where I have you bend your knees, and here I have you bend your elbows, that allow you to soften your left shoulder down, and then side lean. Back up through center, and then finding a place to press that right hand into the bed frame, into the floor, or whatever works. Good. Actively pulling the right shoulder blade down the back, lengthen through fingertips. Good, back to center. Nice place to rest your head, and then right hand outside edge of left knee. Okay, once you've come into the full twist here, gaze forward, back arm comes over, cross at the elbows, square shoulders, and use pulling on your own knees to give you some resistance. Yeah, so it spreads the skin. It also kind of stretches those long, thin muscles on the back body. And then shifting forward, finding the tops of your sitting bones, bending your elbows, crossing your forearms and wrists, Garudasana arms. Start by pulling the elbows down and in. That usually helps me. Yep, as I round in, pull the shoulders down, chin to chest. Yep, round in there. Think cat pose. Yeah. Almost like I'm kind of like pulling the elbows into the base of the sternum. Widen the collarbones apart. Think to lengthen the sides of the neck out of the tops of the shoulders. And then inhale, sit up, rocking towards the front of your sitting bone. Exhale, round in. One more. Inhale, lift up. Maybe the elbows look just a little bit higher. Different stretch for the triceps. And then exhale, round in. As you sit back up at the center, release the arms. Roll out the shoulders. And fold in here. Bow. Okay, so like my students are always like here, they're like, we want to meditate more, right? We want to learn to journal. Like we're always talking about the thing, we're telling our friends about the thing. Before we move on, one more time, remind yourself what that thing is and commit to it. Inhale, exhale, lift up through center, roll over your shins, tabletop position. I've been thinking about when I was a kid and I would like trace the pencil around my fingers to like make a big palm print. Think that you're widening the fingers there. Tuck toes, drag chest through, inhale, cow. Okay, so Kendall, I've really been working on this, and I think you've been in some of the classes where we kind of really drop the rib cage when we do this, so we can feel the shoulder blades come more together, putting a little just more power on your upper back, and then send your hip, lift up, downward facing dog. We're going to have a chance when you can kind of pedal out the legs, but for now, I just want you to get into rhythm with breath. So a couple of times here, knees down, tabletop. We're going to find our flow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, down dog, fully exhaling. At the bottom of that exhale, knees to the mat, tabletop. Inhale from the pubic bone to the belly button to the chest, the crown of the head opening. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more. I finish the exhale. I control, set the knees down, kind of with purpose, landing here. Pull the side ribs forward. Activate the upper back. And downward facing dog. Good. Now from that down dog, go ahead, pedal out your legs, walk the dog. Inhale forward into plank. Shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. 2 more. Inhale forward. Feel the connection from the heels to the head. Exhale back. Yep, like we're lifting the spine up out of the shoulders. 1 more. Inhale forward plank. And now hold here. As you hold here, lower your left knee down to the floor underneath your left hip. Pin your right heel to flat. And then reach and extend right arm up towards the ceiling. Salamba Vastisthasana. Okay, so a little bit like what I said, if we lock that left elbow, your left shoulder might roll forward, collapsing. I'm gonna micro bend my left elbow, keep my hand where it is, rotate my elbow crease forward, feel my shoulder blade spin onto the upper back, and then lengthen and extend right arm over your right ear. Right? And it's like if we're gonna do the thing, feel the thing, get really present. It's stabilizing, balancing, side body stretch, hand and knee to the mat, tabletop position. Inhale, open cow. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Right knee down to the floor. Spin your left heel to flat. Left arm lifts. Salamba Vastisthasana. I do think from my right hip, pushing down into my right knee, making sure I have a little bit of that control of your pelvis. Rotate the right shoulder open, and then lengthen and extend left arm over your left ear. Good, and then if we kind of look in the direction of the fingertips and reach forward to the front of the room, you might feel even more stretch as the hand and knee come to the mat, tabletop position. Strong inhale, forward cow pose, upper back, upper back, upper back. That's our thing. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank pose. Yep, as we push through the feet and push through the hands, activate your core. Put your left knee down underneath your left hip. Now look at your right hand. Step your right foot where your right hand is. Take your right arm up. Simple twist. Yep, turning towards the bed. Good. Now tuck your back left toes under. Lift your back left knee. Low lunge, putting the twist on the top. Physically today, our thing is shoulders rolling open, shoulder blades together. And remember, like in silent movies, like when someone would be on the stage, there'd be someone with like a hook and they'd pull them off the stage. I've been imagining like someone with a hook at the top of my mat, hooking my sports bra and pulling it forward to open the chest. Hand to the mat, stretch back, downward facing dog. Sometimes you can use your feet, right, on the mat, kind of pulling the feet apart, seeing if that helps you to spread your sitting bones. Shift forward into plank pose. Right knee down, left foot step. Where left hand was, find the twist. For most people, Kendall, when we open to the left, that left hip lifts. Try to keep pushing your left hip down as you keep rotating the rib cage, and then lift your back, right knee, tucking the toes under. And so, like, you know, when we come all the way down and we do a cobra pose, like we can feel it from the toes, through the knees, through the hips, through the low back, and then up into the chest, like cobra across your collarbones. Press back, downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath there. Do the thing, find your breath. 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Right foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Yeah. Left foot steps forward, hip width distance. Yeah. Okay. Lengthen your spine forward. Yep. Try to extend the spine. Now, bend your left knee deeply. Keep your right leg straight. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling. So again, whenever we bend the knee, and if you have a block, Kendall, you could use a block underneath that left hand. Okay, yeah, I didn't see if you had one. Cool. Yeah, that makes it even better. So the more I bend that left knee, I can rotate my hips more, which then allows me to rotate the ribs. Good. Come back through center. Right hand onto the block. Bend right knee. Try to keep your left leg straight. And open here. Right? So usually the direction that we're twisting towards, that hip like bumps out. It tries to swing. Keep pressing that left hip in as you rotate. Back through center. Hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen, half flat. Exhale, fold out over your legs here. Nice. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. Do the thing that it's cow pose. That I feel my upper back muscles working, press to stand. Reach your biceps up next to your ears as you lengthen, stand tall. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Like come to the top of your mat though, because we're gonna have to step back. Yep, good. Okay, from there, step your left foot back, lunge. Good. Put your left knee down. Swing your right leg back, floating Salamba Vatsisasana. Yep. So our peak pose today is going to be Ardha Chandrasana, right? Where instead of being on your left knee, you're standing on your left foot, but you're doing all the same actions. Yeah, that right leg is active. You can feel the relationship between your tailbone and the front of your sternum, pulling into the midline. Stretch your right arm over your right ear, pulling your hand and foot away from each other. Planting your right hand, planting your right toes, square it off. Step, top of your push-up, plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend elbows, lower down to the belly, keeping the shoulder blades on the upper back. Good. Inhale, cobra. Yep, so that's why when my elbows are, I like cobra over up dog because my elbows are bent and I can really drag my shoulders back more and work that posture. Send your hips back, downward facing dog. Hear the sound of your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Right foot steps hip width distance apart. Lengthen half flat back, grab your block. Yep, so you can come up nice and tall. Half flat back, left hand on the block, left knee bends, right leg straight, twist to the right first. Now bring that right hand around back behind you, bringing the back of your right hand onto your outer left hip. Remember that right hip is probably swinging out. Push it in. That should push your left hip more into your right hand. And then try to roll open more into that shoulder. This can be great if you've been like at your computer a little bit. Yeah. Right arm goes up, lengthen. Change sides. Right hand to the block. Give yourself space by bending your right knee, straighten your left leg. Twist. Left hand comes around. Feel the outside of that right hip. Roll open. And any connection, any stronger resistance I can feel between my left hand and my right hip, it allows me to open my chest a bit more. Extend left arm up towards the ceiling. Pull the arm bones apart, full stretch across your chest. And then come back to center. Hands to shins, inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, fold in. Yeah, kind of enjoy dropping the head, using like the heaviness of your rib cage, your shoulders, stretch the spine. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back, chest forward. Yep. Press to stand. Second side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, empty, empty, empty as you fold in. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Right foot steps back, lunge. Right knee down. And as the weight shifts to your right hand and right knee, left leg floats back. Oh, yeah, good transition. Floating Salamba Vatsisasana. And then the challenge is to pull the shoulder blades together and keep rolling your chest open. Excellent. Left arm over left ear, reaching. Press through the heel, reach to the fingertips, maybe look in the direction of your fingertips. Left hand to the mat, left toes to the mat as you square it off. Top of your push-up, plank pose. Inhale, plank. Melt the rib cage, bend the elbows, focus on where your shoulders are. Lift the gaze, try to keep the chest open. Cobra, good. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Step forward, top of your mat. Hands to shins, inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Empty, empty, empty. Squeeze the belly button back fully. And then hands to hips, elbows up. Like, I don't love this, but I do it over and over again because I can feel the backs of my shoulders starting to work. Press to stand. Okay, little different. Arms up, reach. Interlace the hands back behind you. See variation. And I want you to think like cobra here, right? If we were on the floor, right, like our hips push into the floor, you lift your rib cage up and then try to pull the arm bones back, opening your chest here. Maybe you look up a little. Feel the expansion in your chest as you inhale. Bend knees, exhale, fold in. Okay, and then the same thing here. Bend and straighten your legs, Kendall going back and forth, kissing like right knee, right shoulder, left knee, left shoulder. Yep, back and forth. So you wiggle out some of that tension. And then fingertips to the mat. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step your left foot back, lunging. Left knee down, floating, Salamba Vatsisasana. Extend that right leg back. The difference this time is now you're going to bend that right knee, grab your right ankle, and then use this to take half of a bow pose. In the hips, we want to try to do cat pose, tucking the tailbone under. So that helps to squeeze the back bend out of the low back and up into the chest. Float the right leg, reach your right arm forward, square it off, right hand down, right toes down. Inhale, one-legged plank, send that left leg back. Exhale, bend elbows. Now look forward, Kendall, and try to keep your chest up, lower down. Yep, pretend like it's like hot lava. Like when you were a kid, it would be like if it touches. Okay, so yeah, keep it open. Does that feel different? Press back, downward facing dog. Do the thing. Let the breath gently wash over you. Step forward, top of your mat. Hands to shins, inhale, open. Exhale, help yourself in, fold. Start to get as kind of much of the hamstrings as you can. Notice where you're still holding tension. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. Press to stand. Last one, arms up, inhale. Interlace the hands back behind you. I try to think of this like a standing cobra. So I really have to like firm my butt muscles and keep it out of my low back. My tendency would be right to stick my butt out, put it right in the place where it's sticky, and then fold in Uttanasana. Take the shoulders, pedal out the legs. Maybe even here you want to shake your head. Fingertips to the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps back, lunge. Back right knee down. Left arm or left leg goes back. Salamba, floating Vatsisthasana here. Bend left knee, reach back, grab left ankle. Yeah. Use the opening that we just did, like in the front of the shoulders. Think, and I think that's the bathroom, right? Like push your hips towards the bathroom. Good. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Think of your lungs like a piece of bubble gum. Fill them up, fill them up, fill them up. Release the ankles. Stretch the arm and leg to straight. Left arm forward. Good release. That's fine. Yeah. Extend your right leg back. One-legged plank. And then I'm going to look forward. And as I bend my elbows and lower slow, I'm not going to let my chest sink. Cobra, inhale. Child's pose. Exhale. Or maybe just for like a little inspiration, right? Like I've always said, I've told people, like, I want to journal. Some of the people that I know that do the most like kind of deep emotional work, they're journaling for years. So in the morning, I don't just think about journaling. I'm picking up the journal and journaling. What's your thing? Inhale. Exhale. Meet me back. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up and back. Three-legged down dog. Step your right foot forward up in between your hands, lunge, and then pause. Okay, so we both have a block here. Kendall, I'm going to put it on the inside of my front right foot. And I'm going to go like Chicago style. I don't need it too high. Yep. Right shoulders on the inside edge of the right knee. Spin your back, left heel to flat. Yep, so it's like that back leg is bent in the Salamba Vatsisasanas. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Parsva Konasana. Good. As your right knee presses open towards the bed, your right hip squeezes towards the bathroom. Can you roll the ribs more open against that? Work. This looks really good. Yep. Cobra in the upper chest. And now take your left arm around back behind you. Can you grab your upper right thigh and try to use that to roll open through your shoulder? Inhale. Exhale. Unwind the bind, left arm extends up. Release, step back. Downward facing dog. Okay, so I don't want you to like make you tired, but I want you to keep doing this work. I want you to kind of get a new default setting in your body. Shift forward into plank. Okay. And even if we put our knees down, right? Lift the gaze, look forward. Yeah, let's put the knees down. Kendall, just go ahead. Yep. Drop the rib cage first, and then feel how when you bend your elbows, it allows you to fold your angel wings onto your upper back and you lower. And you find that place where you're upper back muscles have to contract, where they have to work. Stay there. Inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift your left leg up, three-legged down dog. Step forward lunge. Good. Block onto the inside edge of your left foot. Spin your right heel to flat. Right arm extends. Parsva Konasana, side angle pose. So every bone in our body is like a teeter-totter. If the end of your femur bone by your knee hinges in, the top of your femur bone hinges out, right? So use that work, pressing the knee open, squeezing the left hip in to get your femur bone parallel. And then you can take your top arm around, take the half spine, and try to roll your chest open. 2, 1. Unwind the bind, right arm up. Circle the hand down and around. Press back. Downward facing dog. Okay, last 3 of these vinyasas. So inhale, forward plank. I'm just going to put my knees down so I can practice the bending in the elbows, the pulling of my hands backwards. So even here, I'm already pulling my hands backwards to try to drive my rib cage through. My priority, the thing I want is this open heart. Inhale. Feel the belly fill, press back, downward facing dog as you exhale. Okay, last series is part of your standing flow. Take your right leg up, bend right knee, roll right hip open this time. Yep, that usually for you is good for stretching more of your inner left leg. Nice and kind of better out than in. Pull the tension out of the body and step. Lunge. Good. Spin your back heel to flat. Take your block under your right hand. I'm going to go New York style and then prepare Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Shifting that block forward, floating the back leg. And then think of all like the energies that you were doing in the Salambhavasana. That back leg is floating. You were pushing down, rolling the ribs open here. Inhale. Exhale, release, hand and foot step back, low lunge, pause. Put your back left knee down, Kendall. Yep. Keep your back left toes tucked under as you walk back. Come into toe stand on your left leg. Yep, go ahead, use blocks. And I'm just going to sit back today. It's kind of like a block to rest my hips on. And then you decide how far you fold in. So if the thing you want is longer hamstrings, do the thing here, stay with it, be patient. Inhale. Exhale, empty, empty, empty. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. You can remove the blocks as you shift forward, low lunge, to step back, downward facing dog. Okay. 2 more chances. Inhale forward into plank. Knees down. I'm going to keep my tailbone tucked though. Drop my rib cage, bend the elbows. Yeah. Ribs forward, ribs. If I was there, I would put my feet on your shoulders. I would grab your rib cage and pull it forward. Adho Mukha Svanasana down. So I kind of did this class yesterday with Julie and we messaged each other. We both woke up with like sore back muscles, but like in a good way. I can feel it shifting. Last side, left leg lifts, bend left knee, roll the hip open. Left foot steps forward, lunge. Back heel spin so flat. So it's different. Normally we come into Ardha Chandrasana from a warrior two, like already up. This is a little bit different as you shift from low and grow the pose up, like blossoming open. So as you ground down more and more and more and more, you can float up. Inner left knee turns forward. Yeah, outer right hip wraps around. Inhale. Exhale. Step back. Low lunge. Back knee down. Toe stand over that right foot. As your front left leg lengthens to fold. Lift your eye. Last one, low lunge as we step back, downward facing dog, right? We also use our vinyasas because they kind of do a little bit of everything. You're inverted, you're upside down, step forward into plank pose, feel your core, start to feel your arm strength, knees down, bend, shrug. So I pretend like my hands are stuck, but I'm twisting my hands open. That gives me even more power to draw the shoulders back as you lower slow. Inhale. Yep. Lungs float like balloons, drifting up. Downward facing dog. Keep your feet where they are. Sway your hips left and right. This is actually done quite a bit for side body, right? And as your hips swing back and forth, you might feel the side ribs stretch. Come through center. Walk your hands back towards your feet, back of your mat. Hold in here. Stretching the ribs away from the hips, pouring forward, armpits away from the ribs, ears away from the tops of the shoulder, top of the head, reaching down towards the floor as you fold. And then as you bend your knees, roll up through your spine. Good. And I just want you to be more comfortable as you take the short edge of your mat to the wall. So you can have a lot of space. Good. Sit close to the wall, one hip at the wall, lean back and stretch your legs all the way up. Good. Bottoms of your feet together. Okay, can you let your feet slide closer down towards your hip? Yep. So the closer they get in, well, it's safer on the knee to stretch when the knee is like closed, when it's not as open. Some people like to put their hands on their inner knees and press them open. If I'm gonna press my legs open, I move my hands more to like the middle of my thighs, like the thicker part, and use that. I even like it like close down by the joint to feel that the joint is getting spacious. body scan, melting the forehead, softening the corners of your eyes and lips, relaxing the tongue, unhinging the jaw. Getting rid of any tension at the base of the throat or at the tops of the shoulders. As you scan your body, right, it's like that non-sleep, but like a deep rest. Could you imagine making the energy in your body feel like a snowflake drifting down and settling on a pile of snow? Like that imagery, like what would that feel like in your body? Probably that your hands come out to the sides, right? Yeah, yeah, more soft. Good. See that snowflake drifting down. Maybe it feels better to say like light as a feather. And bring your awareness to your heart center. And what would it feel like in the body? A flower opening, petal by petal by petal, blossoming, opening, expanding, turned up towards the sun, brilliant, open, blue sky. How does that feel in the body? And then finally, think of like a gentle, winding, kind of babbling brook or river, like a soft flow of energy moving through your body as you bring your knees together and straighten your legs up the wall. And maybe you can think of just that energy like washing down, flushing down your legs, down your hips, out through your fingertips and crown of head as you take rest.